Next up is Greg Hunter. Go ahead, Greg.
So, Bob, just your thoughts, first half to second half. What didn't they do right early? And then how'd you get that thing turned around in the second half?
We woke them up. I don't know. You know, it's been a long few weeks with, you know, it's so hard. We're playing, we're not playing. We're playing this team. No, we're not. We're going to play this other team. You know, we practice getting ready for Robert Morris, and then Robert Morris can't play. And this is, you know, we wanted to play yesterday instead of today to give us a couple days before we play on Sunday, and we couldn't do that. So it's just been, it hasn't been easy, but it's better than not playing at all.
Justin Jackson.
Hey, Coach, the second half, the full court pressure, I thought probably made a difference for you guys. Just kind of wondering, Derek said that's something that you guys kind of worked on during the week. You know, what did you see out of the pressure, and you know, whether or not you liked it or not?
We didn't do much out of it, Justin. We just kind of slowed them down. We weren't really trying to steal the ball or make a lot of plays on the ball. We were just trying to slow them down so we didn't have to guard for the whole clock. You know, their game plan was to come in and get as deep into the clock as they could and get a good shot. And they were successful in the first half. And this burnt some clock, so they didn't have as much time to do what they wanted to do.
Go ahead, Ryan Pritt.
Hey, Coach, you got some looks at some pretty unique personnel formations, I guess, today. I know Oscar and Derek weren't on the floor together again after the first few minutes. Was that because you were running the press, or was that for other reasons, I suppose?
Well, that was because neither one of them played very well to start the game. I mean, when you have a 1-footer and you miss it by 2 feet, you're having a bad day. I mean, I don't care who you are, you're having a bad day. So, you know, I mean, you got to come ready to play, and that's all we talked to them about was come ready to play. I mean, really what I wanted to do was get a lead so we could play our younger kids. And you know, because we didn't do that, our younger kids had to sit over there on the bench again. And then we're getting ready to play the 19th ranked team in the country, which they're probably not going to get in that one for very long. And then we're in conference play. So, you know, I thought it was an opportunity if we came out and really played well to get the younger guys in, and we didn't. And I know they were. I mean, they've been great, but they were a little frustrated they didn't get to play hardly at all in a couple minutes basically. And man, we just didn't play hard, man. And I can deal with missed shots, you know, I can deal with missed free throws. I can't deal with not playing hard. And we didn't play hard. That was not my team out there.
Kevin Kinder.
Going back to the pressure a little bit, Coach, you have a couple of guys there that seem very disruptive, even if they're not getting steals, they're getting deflections, and Gabe and Deuce. So do you try to funnel a little bit toward them at times? I know you said your goal was just getting into the shot clock, but, you know, that's another way. Knock the ball loose maybe a little bit and at least disrupt some things. Are they your best on-ball pressure defenders?
Well, a couple of those guys, we would have had to go over, shake them, wake them up to get them to maybe get to the ball because they were kind of standing there in a daze. Gabe is really good at flying around, and Deuce is aggressive, and that's kind of what it takes. And they're both athletic, so yeah, probably they are. You know, you would think that a couple of our bigs with their length and the way they can run, if they see fit to run that day, would be awfully good on the top.
We'll go to Cody Nesper.
Coach, last week you said Richmond is one of the best offensive teams in the country. And I was just wondering why that is.
Well, they've got a really good coach who's been there for quite a while and has been able to, I think, recruit his kind of guys. And their point guard's terrific. Their point guard is going to be probably as good a point guard as we're going to play against all year. Does a lot of things for them. Their big is very good. He can make threes. He's got really good physical size and strength, and he passes the ball extremely well. I think if there was one thing that I could say that made them a really good offensive team, they all can pass. I mean, you saw how many we got deflected. They don't get passes deflected. They don't throw them at people's feet. They don't throw them over their heads. They generally throw it to them in the shooting pocket.
Greg Hunter.
Coach, there were a ton of turnovers by both teams in the first half today with good defense, bad offense. You haven't had a ton of turnover problems this year, so that was a little bit unusual.
Well, Greg, I beg to differ. We've had all kind of turnover problems because the worst turnovers are unforced turnovers, and we've had a ton of unforced turnovers. And that's carelessness. It's carelessness. It's balance. It's maybe just being an awfully bad passer. I'm not sure, but we haven't passed it very well.
Back to Justin Jackson.
Coach, Oscar, you've talked about Oscar a little bit. He doesn't score tonight. He does get 7 rebounds, but, he's kind of been plagued with foul trouble in other games. But from game one to this game, what are you seeing with Oscar? What disappoints you in his overall play so far?
He hasn't played well.
Yeah.
He hasn't ran. He was as good a runner, I think, as any power forward in the country, maybe the best. He hasn't ran. So he hasn't got involved in the transition game. He hasn't made perimeter shots, which I thought at the end of the year last year, he made perimeter shots. You had to guard him at the foul line. He hasn't finished around the rim. And that was something that, as the season went on, he got better and better and better at. It's a big jump between high school and here, just from the amount of contact that's allowed, the size, the length of the people you're playing against. In this situation, he was bigger than all but at least one of their guys and didn't finish around the rim. Derek didn't finish around the rim till the second half. I let Derek sit down there and think about it for a little while. He hasn't. I love the kid. I'm not trying to say something disrespectful to him, but he hadn't played very well. He hadn't finished. He hadn't ran. Hadn't rebounded as well. We hadn't passed it as well. We ran a lot of roll and replace with he and Derek a year ago. I can't do that now. Because they're going to throw it to the wrong team, and that shouldn't happen. Because they did it a year ago.
Matt Thurnsbury.
Coach, it's a pretty significant difference from the first half to the second half in shooting. Is that the performance you expect to see from you guys from game to game?
Well, I just said on a radio show, we think Sean McNeil can really shoot the basketball. Tad Sherman can really shoot the basketball. Deuce is a way better than average shooter. Jordan McCabe is a way better than average shooter. Emmett Matthews came back making shots, shooting the ball better than he had shot the ball in his first 2 years here. So you're looking at 5 guys right there who we thought could stretch the floor, who are very capable of making threes, making shots off the bounce, really being able to occupy the defense. And That hasn't happened to this point. Not with all of them on the floor. I mean, Sean's made shots when, but we didn't have other guys making shots. Deuce has made shots. We didn't have other guys making shots. Taz has made shots. Haven't had other guys making shots. And we need people to be more consistent. We need them to, when you're open, and it should have a great chance to make a shot. We haven't. So that's been a problem. But we make shots in shooting drills. They're in the practice facility on their own, working at their game. It's just the ball hadn't gone in for whatever reason.
Any other questions for Coach? Skylar Callahan.
Hey, Bob, do you feel like offensively, aside from the bad passes, but do you think that some of the offense has kind of been hindered due to just not being able to create their own shot?
No, I don't think so. I think certainly Deuce can create his own shot. I think Taz can create his own shot. Sean can create his own shot. We have guys who can create their own shots. Unless you're playing in the NBA, there's not a whole lot of college guys that create their own shots consistently and make them.
Okay, Coach, thank you very much. Appreciate the time.
Uh-huh.